Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel. Today, we're going to talk about a legendary figure who is both admirable and controversial, Elon Musk. What comes to your mind when you think of him? Are those cool electric cars from Tesla? Or the rocket launched by SpaceX? Or is it the bizarre remarks he makes on Twitter every day? That's right, he's a man full of topics and countless labels. Some say he is the greatest dreamer of his time. Others say that he's just a boastful marketing maniac and a complete control freak. So, what kind of person is he? Today we will walk into Elon Musk together. The beginning of all legends often has an ordinary or even gloomy starting point. Elon Musk's story is no exception. His childhood was not a science fiction dream, but a journey full of contradictions and pain. Elon Musk was born in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa, a city known for its mineral resources. His father, Elon Musk, was an engineer, and his mother, Maya Musk, was a Canadian model and nutritionist. At first glance, this is a standard middle-class family, but in reality, Musk's childhood was not happy. The relationship between the parents has long since broken down when Musk was 9 years old. They divorced, and the end of this marriage also left a shadow on Musk's life. Perhaps out of admiration for his father, he chose to live with him. But he soon discovered that his father's personality was not as gentle as it seemed. According to Musk's later recollection, his father was not only indifferent, but also full of manipulation, and even did some evil things to him. Although Musk never elaborated on what evil meant here, it is certain that his relationship with his father was strained. And at school, Musk was not having a good time. He was small and introverted and was often targeted by bullying at school. He was once pushed down the stairs by a group of children and even beaten to the hospital. This isolation and hurt made Musk learn to close his emotions very early. The pain of his childhood made Musk silent, but it also made him develop the habit of contemplation and deep delving. As a child, he would sit in his room alone for hours and ponder questions that interested him, such as the mysteries of the universe or the boundaries of technology. At the same time, those experiences of being bullied and isolated also made Musk have higher requirements for himself from a young age. He told himself to be stronger than others. Only by becoming good enough can you control your own destiny and no longer be controlled by others. It can be said that the trauma of his childhood became one of the driving forces for his later pursuit of extreme achievements. However, these childhood experiences also left some indelible shadows on him, such as emotional alienation. Many people who know him well say that Musk is somewhat cold in relationships, and he is more inclined to reason than emotion. Some of his decisions even seem a little ruthless. At the same time, he also found the world he loved, reading. Musk was a veritable nerd who immersed himself in science fiction, encyclopedias, and tech magazines every day. One of his favorite books was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a cosmic adventure story that gave him endless imagination. What's more, he got his hands on his first computer at the age of 10. It was bought for him by his father, and it was also the starting point of his success, because since then, Musk has developed strong interest in programming. He even taught himself programming languages and developed a space shooter called Blaster at the age of 12. He sold the game to a magazine for $500. And it was the first time in his life that he made money through technology. For many, $500 may be a small amount of money, but for Musk, who was only 12 years old, it was not only his first pot of gold, but also the first step in his dream of changing the world. As he grew older, South Africa, the land he grew up in, became less and less in his eyes. He hated the apartheid system in South Africa and did not like the militaristic educational environment. He clearly knew that his life should not be confined to this land. So he began to set his sights on the wider world, North America. He knew about the United States, the land of opportunity. In order to escape South Africa and join the United States, he managed to obtain a Canadian passport through his mother's Canadian citizenship. At the age of 18, he left South Africa to study at Queen's University in Canada, and this became the beginning of his step to the world stage. In 1995, Elon Musk, who was successfully admitted to an American university from a Canadian university, completed his studies at the University of Pennsylvania with a double degree in physics and economics. After graduating, he was accepted to Stanford University to pursue a PhD. However, after spending 2 days in Silicon Valley, he suddenly made a decision that surprised everyone to drop out of school because he saw a huge business opportunity that the internet was about to explode. I was like, if I missed the internet age, I would probably regret it for the rest of my life. Years later, Musk recalled his decision. With this momentum, Musk, together with his younger brother Kimball Musk, started their first company, Zip. It is a company that focuses on providing online city guides for newspapers. To put it simply, it is to help those traditional media enter the world of the internet. In the beginning, the project was not very promising. The brothers also didn't have enough money, so they had to rent a modest office without even a bathroom. Musk slept on the couch in his office every night, programming during the day, sleeping at night, and so on. He almost single-handedly supported the entire technical team. He was responsible for programming, server management, and working with customers. It was the hardest time of his life, but he knew that if he didn't grit his teeth and persevere, the company would probably die. Eventually, his efforts paid off. The company began to attract the attention of some investors and gradually won clients in traditional media outlets such as the New York Times and the Chicago Tribune. In 1999, Compaq acquired Zip for $407 million, which was definitely a huge success for Musk. He personally earned $22 million from it. However, his ending in Zip was not perfect. After the acquisition, Musk was forced to hand over control of the company, and even his CEO position was stripped by the new board of directors. This was the first time he had a deep understanding of how dangerous it is to have no control in a business. This lesson taught him to firmly grasp the dominance of the enterprise in his subsequent entrepreneurship, no matter how much it costs. As for the money earned on Zip, Musk did not use it to enjoy life. He bought only a sports car and a house, as soon he was putting most of his money into his next project, XCOM. XCOM's goal is simple: to create a platform for online payments. However, at the end of the 20th century, the internet was still in its infancy, and the concept of online payment was almost unimagined. But Musk still had a keen premonition that this would be the future consumer trend. But despite his hard work, the XCOM didn't go as smoothly as he thought, especially after XCOM merged with another startup, Confinity. Internal management divisions gradually became apparent. Musk insisted on taking his own technical route, but ignored the opinions of the team. This led to him being ousted by the board of directors once again, losing control of the company. It is worth mentioning that after the merger of XCOM and Confinity, it became the PayPal we know today. So, despite the shrinking power of Musk within the company, he is still one of the majority shareholders of the company. So, when PayPal was bought by eBay for $1 billion in $22, Musk made another big profit, getting $180 million. For the average person, 2 successes in a row may be enough. But for Musk, these are just the starting point of his dreams. From Zip to PayPal, he has saved enough capital and accumulated enough experience. From this moment on, he began to truly be himself. In 2022, Musk, who had just quit PayPal, began to look for his next target with the $180 million he earned. This time, he was even more ambitious. What ambitions? Let humans become a multi-planetary species and realize the colonization of Mars. Initially, he did not want to build his own rockets, but planned to buy several decommissioned ICBMs from Russia for for launching cheap satellites. He personally flew to Moscow to negotiate with Russian rocket experts, but the result was very embarrassing. Those Russian experts not only dismissed his plan, but also made an extremely high offer, trying to make him retreat. As you can imagine, the negotiations broke down. However, Musk suddenly had a crazy idea on the plane on the return trip from this failure. Since you can't buy cheap rockets, you can just build them yourself. That's where SpaceX started. After returning to the United States, Musk founded the company, whose full name is Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, or SpaceX for short. His goal is very clear: to dramatically reduce the cost of space transportation and eventually achieve human migration to Mars. However, building a rocket is not a simple matter. Even if Musk was a technical genius, in the field of space, he was a complete layman. And most of SpaceX's employees were young people who had just graduated from school and lacked practical experience. But this group of people had to challenge a field that only a few superpowers in the world could control: aerospace. In order to reduce costs, Musk decided to start from scratch and design and build his own rocket, Falcon 1. However, it didn't go as smoothly as he thought. In March 2006, Falcon 1 was launched for the first time, but it flew for only 25 seconds before it lost control and crashed. The second and third launches in 2000 and 2002 failures. At that time, SpaceX was on the verge of bankruptcy, and almost all of Musk's personal assets were invested in it. If it fails again for a fourth time, SpaceX may be gone forever. During this time, Musk not only had to face technical challenges, but also suffered tremendous psychological pressure. His private life also became a mess. The relationship with his first wife broke down. They got divorced, and his health deteriorated. But even so, he never gave up. In September 2008, SpaceX ushered in its fourth launch. This time, they finally succeeded. Falcon 1 successfully entered Earth orbit and became the world's first liquid-fueled rocket designed, built, and launched by a private company. This success not only allowed SpaceX to survive, but also won the attention of NASA. A few months later, NASA announced a $1 billion contract with SpaceX to deliver supplies to the International Space Station. This contract not only freed SpaceX from its financial predicament, but also allowed the private space company to gain a firm foothold. Since then, Musk has been full of confidence. His goal is not only to build rockets, but also to completely change the rules of aerospace. After the launch of a traditional rocket, most of the parts will be burned or crashed into the sea, which is too wasteful and pollutes the environment. Musk came up with a bold idea to make the rocket, like an airplane, reusable. As he put it, if we don't reduce the cost of space flight, humanity will never be able to achieve interstellar migration. In December 2015, the Falcon 9 rocket successfully completed vertical recovery for the first time, a feat that shocked the world. In the years that followed, SpaceX continued to improve its technology, and the Falcon 9 was reused more and more. This technology not only allows the cost of launch to be significantly reduced, but also puts Musk's company in an absolute leading position in the competition among its peers. After solving the launch problem in low Earth orbit, Musk turned his attention to his ultimate dream, Mars. His plan is to develop a super heavy rocket called Starship, which can transport large quantities of supplies or even hundreds of passengers to Mars at once. Despite the fact that the Starship project is still in the experimental stage, Musk has full confidence in it. He even publicly announced that he would personally travel to Mars in his lifetime. Many people questioned him that he was dreaming, but Musk didn't care about it, because, in his opinion, if you don't try, you can never achieve it. If SpaceX put Elon Musk on the stage of global technology, then Tesla completely made him the focus of public attention. To be precise, Tesla's story was not actually started by Elon Musk. The company was founded in 2003 by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning with the desire to disrupt the automotive industry through technological innovation. However, the biggest problem with starting a business is funding, and that's exactly what they lack. In 2004, Musk joined Tesla as an investor and invested $1 million to become the company's largest shareholder. At that time, Tesla's first goal was to create a luxury electric car to attract high-end consumers. At the same time, they also wanted to prove that electric vehicles could also have the same powerful performance as traditional fuel vehicles. This car was the classic sports car that came to be known as the Roadster. The concept of the Roadster was undoubtedly very advanced at the time. Zero emissions, extreme pleasure, futuristic technology. Powered by a lithium-ion battery, the car delivers incredible acceleration from 60 miles in just 3 seconds. However, the ideal is very plump, but the reality is very skinny. The Tesla team found it more difficult than they thought it would be to take the car from a paper design to a mass-produced product. The lack of maturity in battery technology, the instability of the supply chain, and the extremely complex process of building a car itself have delayed the development cycle of the Roadster and overspent the budget several times. Faced with such a situation, Musk got impatient, and he did not hesitate to take over the management of the company. His decision was decisive: cut costs and redesign the design. In 2008, the first Roadster was finally delivered to customers, but by this time, Tesla had almost run out of money and the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. For every car produced, the company lost tens of thousands of dollars. As mentioned earlier, Musk's other company, SpaceX, was also experiencing the dilemma of continuous rocket launch failures at this time. Both companies needed huge sums of money to stay afloat, and Musk's personal purse bag had bottomed out at this time. At the last minute, Mercedes-Benz's parent company, Daimler Group, agreed to invest $50 million in Tesla, and the US government also provided Tesla with an important loan. These two funds have become the key to Tesla's survival. After surviving the bankruptcy crisis, Tesla decided to launch an electric car that was truly mass market, the Model S. The car is not a high-end sports car like the Roadster, but a spacious, comfortable, and high-performance family sedan. The release of the Model S has completely changed the way people think about electric vehicles. It has a range of more than 300 miles, as well as performance and design that rivals that of luxury fuel vehicles. In the market, the Model S has won high praise from consumers and the media since its launch and has been named one of the best cars of all time. Although the Model S was successful, Musk was not satisfied. His ultimate goal is to bring electric vehicles into ordinary people's homes, and this requires a more affordable model. In 2017, Tesla launched the Model 3, which costs half the price of the Model S. In order to supervise the development of the Model 3, Musk even lived on the production line, staring at the employees every minute and every second, supervising the progress. With this regulation, the Model 3 became one of the best-selling electric vehicles in the world once it was released. Not only did Tesla achieve profitability, but it also allowed the company to gain a firm foothold. And the successive successes of Tesla and space have also completely pushed Musk to the altar. Sometimes, though, success doesn't come with praise. Musk's management style has sparked a lot of controversy. He is extremely demanding of his employees. They often work more than 80 hours a week, which is overwhelming for many people. But he is even more aggressive with himself, working more than 100 hours a week with almost no holidays. His employees also recalled that Musk would often lash out over a small problem, and his executive team would change frequently because they couldn't bear his pressure. In addition, he also sparked criticism and dissatisfaction from shareholders because of some overly radical business decisions, especially during the hellish development and production of the Model He even asked all executives to live in the factory and work with the employees on the production line. For this reason, a large number of the company's executives chose to leave, while Musk frequently made controversial remarks on Twitter and even triggered a sharp fluctuation in Tesla's stock price at one point. For example, he casually mentioned on Twitter that he wanted to take Tesla private, for which he was fined by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). In the end, he had to pay a $20 million fine and resign as chairman of Tesla. Another, even bigger controversy was the 2IT in-cave rescue in Thailand. He publicly abused a British diver involved in the rescue as a pedophile on Twitter, a matter that sparked global criticism and was even taken to court. While Musk eventually won the case, the incident greatly damaged his and Tesla's public image. Later, during the COVID-19 period, Musk caused widespread controversy because of his contemptuous attitude towards the epidemic. He publicly criticized the government's epidemic prevention policies many times, and even forced Tesla's factory to resume work during the California lockdown, which was criticized as lacking a sense of social responsibility. As for Musk's love life, like his career, there is never a lack of drama. He has been through 3 marriages and has 10 children, but he still admits that he is a lonely man. He met his first wife, Justine Wilson, while in college. Justine is a writer. They got married in 2000 and had 5 children, including twins and a pair of triplets. However, the marriage was not a happy one. Musk was a career maniac outside the home and rarely spent time with his family. In particular, his eldest son, Nevada, died of sudden infant death syndrome at the age of 10 weeks, which devastated Musk. This incident also caused irreparable damage to the relationship between him and his wife. Justine publicly stated after the divorce, "I am like an employee in his company, not his wife." After the divorce, Musk quickly started a new relationship with British actress Tallulah Riley. After the two got married, their relationship also went through several twists and turns, and they even divorced, remarried, and divorced. Tallulah also admitted in an interview, being with Elon requires a strong psychological endurance. After that, Musk started a high-profile romance with Canadian singer Grimes. Not only do the duo often appear at major events, but they also gave their children a very unique name, XIC. The child's name is so weird, which once again reflects Musk's unconventional path. However, this relationship did not come to an end, and the two announced a half-breakup in 2021, but still maintained a relationship of friends and partners. Despite the twists and turns in Musk's love life, his love for his children is unquestionable. He started a secret school for his children called Ad Astra, which surprisingly focused on engineering, programming, and design instead of a traditional curriculum. He just wants to train the children to be his own engineering successors without thinking about what the children like. In this way, the ups and downs of achievements, feelings, family, personality, and controversies constitute a complex and real Musk. He is a fearless adventurer who dares to challenge tradition and authority, but at the same time, he also seems a little cold-blooded because of his lack of emotional resonance and sensitivity to the emotions of others. Musk lives in an era where information is highly transparent and the public is more demanding of celebrities. In this day and age, successful people are often both heroes and anti-heroes. Their achievements are admirable, but their flaws are also infinitely magnified. His fans revere him as a world-changing genius and even call him a contemporary savior. His critics, on the other hand, consider him a dangerous liar. Immigrating to Mars sounds unrealistic. Regardless of the outcome, however, Musk's efforts have at least fueled a boom in space exploration. His crazy vision has made more people start to rethink the future of humanity. In addition to Mars, Musk's attitude towards artificial intelligence has also attracted much attention. Unlike many in the tech world, he's wary of the development of AI. He has repeatedly stated publicly that artificial intelligence may be the biggest threat facing humanity. In order to deal with the potential risks of AI, Musk founded OpenAI, hoping to promote the safe development of artificial intelligence by developing human-friendly AI. At the same time, his company Neuralink is also trying to form a symbiotic relationship between humans and AI through brain-computer interface technology, so as to avoid the fate of human beings being eliminated. It can be said that all of Musk's plans need to be tested by time, from Martian immigration to artificial intelligence, from network payments to interstellar transportation. The success of these projects often takes decades of hard work. Many people questioned whether he would ever see his dreams come true in his lifetime. But people overlook that the things he hasn't finished can be handed over to the next generation. Musk's timetable may be delayed, but technology is really developing step by step. Maybe he is just a passerby of humans lighting up the technology tree, but it is undeniable that someone must do this work.